Do care facilities discriminate against people on Medicaid? And how to make sure they don't. So I get this a couple of questions all the time. Number one, can a facility discriminate against a Medicaid applicant? And the answer is yes and no. So it really comes into play in two different areas. Number one, in the area of admissions, right? So I want to get in a facility and I want to get in on Medicaid. Can they discriminate against me and take a private pay patient over a Medicaid patient? And then the second scenario is, once I'm in, if I go from private pay or Medicare or private insurance or whatever to Medicaid, can they give me substandard care? So let's deal with the first one first. Well, actually, let's deal with the second one first. The answer to the second question is, can they discriminate and give me substandard care because I'm on Medicaid? And the answer is absolutely not. They cannot do it. It is against federal law, and I am not a lawyer, and I can't give you legal advice. Now, that's pretty common knowledge, though. Medicaid is a federal program, and they are prohibited from discriminating against the quality of the health care because they're on Medicaid. In fact, in almost 10,000, well, a little over 10,000 of these cases over the past 23 years, I have never, ever had anybody come back to me and say, you know, the facility that mom was in started treating her differently and giving her worse care once we got her qualified for Medicaid. That has never happened. Now, that's not to say if they go from one facility to another facility and, you know, the facility they went to is a substandard facility that also provides Medicaid, that they may not get worse care there, but it's because there's not as good a care at that facility in general, not because they've carved them out and said, hey, you're on Medicaid, we're not going to provide you as good a care. So I will tell you, and I have a theory, by the way, that I'll share with you. Let's suppose that somebody's private pay and suppose that somebody's on Medicaid. And neither one gets visitors from the family. Nobody checks up on either one. Nobody calls the nurse's station. Nobody talks to anybody. And there's just two people there receiving care, all things being equal, one being Medicaid, one being private pay. I would tend to believe that the Medicaid patient will get slightly better care in that scenario because they're scrutinized a little bit more by the state. So, you should not concern yourself with your parent not getting the same quality of care. If they are in a facility approved for Medicaid benefits, in other words, they take Medicaid, they're going to get the same care whether it's Medicaid or whether it's private pay. So you really, genuinely don't have to worry about that. Now, let's go back to one, right? We got about a minute and a half to wind up here. Question number one is, can they discriminate on admitting my mom or my dad because they want to get on a Medicaid? The answer is yes, they can. They can have a Medicaid waiting list, right? That you know, they have so many Medicaid beds and they don't have to fill a private pay bed with a Medicaid patient. So you can go on a waiting list, but let me tell you how you do this. I'm gonna give you a nugget here, and it's an important nugget. If you want to get your parent in the facility of choice and you know you're going to be applying for Medicaid, before you do all the Medicaid restructuring, right, you check them in, you write a check for 1 or 2 months, whatever they require. They may ask, how you planning on paying for this? You say, I'm planning on paying privately, but I'm exploring my options. How much to owe you? You write them a check for 16 or 20,000 bucks, whatever the number is. You hand it to them. You check mom in, assuming she has that to pay. I mean, I get not everybody does, but most people that are watching these videos do, right? You're trying to figure out how to get mom the care and protect the money. You go ahead and write them that. Then we rearrange everything, get Medicaid, and then the facility is going to have to refund mom the money that she paid for the month they got approved for Medicaid. Now, there's all kind of little nuances that we can do with this to make sure that money gets protected, and it goes to the right people and the refund goes to the right place. But the big picture is, if you want to get in the facility of choice, you private pay mom and dad in, then you flip them to Medicaid, then the facility cannot discharge them because they went on Medicaid, nor can they give them substandard care. So if you'd like to talk to me about this, talk to me about your particular situation and what may or may not make sense, hey, give me a ring. Always happy to talk to you. Look forward to hearing from you. Thanks.